What did the Trade Federation actually want, when you take into consideration Darth Sidious's plans and Newt Gunray's conspiracy with the Sith Lord disguised as a senator? Well, let's first look at how Newt Gunray even got into power and became the sole director of the organization. Formed in the wake of the Great Hyperspace disaster during the High Republic era, the Trade Federation's focus was shipping and trading. For years, the Trade Federation had monopolized this industry in the galaxy, and had gained so much power that they'd even been given representation in the Galactic Senate. However, despite this concession, the Trade Federation's influence and reach grew so much that they began extorting protection fees upon their trade routes, forcing independent traders not affiliated with the company or the corporate sector at large to pay heavy tolls. This caused friction with the Senate and the Republic. 1 year before the Battle of Naboo, a conference was held on the planet Eriadu in an attempt to peacefully reconcile the growing disputes between the Trade Federation and the Galactic Republic. However, an assassination plot unfolded at this conference, and many leaders in the Trade Federation were killed. This paved the way for Newt Gunray to rise to power with the backing of Darth Sidious. While he had already been made Viceroy by that point, Newt Gunray now had complete command of the Federation following the deaths of the rest of the leadership. However, this conference led to the introduction of Proposition 31814D, a bill passed by the Senate that levied taxes on the free trade zones, areas of space that were utilized by the Trade Federation to avoid taxes completely and maximize profits. This angered Newt Gunray and the rest of the Federation, who felt that they had already paid more than enough in taxes. In response, Newt Gunray, at the suggestion of Darth Sidious, ordered a blockade around the planet of Naboo to draw the galaxy's attention and demand concessions from the Senate. While Newt Gunray railed against the new taxes, Darth Sidious had his own motivations to use the blockade to gain political sympathy, as he was publicly the senator of Naboo. Gunray and Sidious's interests aligned, and they had multiple motivations. At Sidious's order, Gunray had the Trade Federation invade the planet to force Queen Amidala to sign a treaty that would effectively condemn her people to indentured servitude. The blockade had technically been legal under the Republic's laws, but the invasion was not. Newt Gunray counted on a swift capitulation from Queen Amidala that would legalize the Federation's occupation of Naboo. However, Queen Amidala managed to escape and petition for help in the Senate, though did not receive it. But by the time Amidala and her allies returned to free Naboo, Newt Gunray had pulled all of the blockade back save for one droid control ship for fear of reprisal from the Republic. So, in summation, the Trade Federation may have been acting on orders from Darth Sidious, but they had their own motivations in blockading Naboo, those being to retaliate against the introduction of a bill in the Senate that essentially decreased their total profits. It all came down to taxes. They hoped that in destabilizing Naboo's trade enough and occupying the planet, they could coerce the Senate into dissolving said bill. And that's it for this video. If I forgot to mention anything, please let me know in the comments, or if you just have any general questions. Thank you so much for watching.